Hey parents, I wanted to kind of go over some of the requirements for our belt promotion coming up for this quarter. As you know, we have 4 belt promotions a year, and in those belt promotions, we have physical requirements. We have uh, there's really like a few things that we require, physical requirements, but also we have like requirements of being able to watch, listen, follow directions. What I like to call philosophical or mental or emotional requirements as well. It's not enough to know how to do something. For instance, it's not enough to know how to do a punch or a kick if you don't know when that you're supposed to do it, right? I think we can all agree that if a child just knowing how to punch is not enough to stop them from not punching someone. One of the questions we ask in class is it more important hitting or not getting hit? Obviously, not getting hit is more important than hitting. So one of the things that we require of every student for every belt promotion is not just physical requirements, but also development in their mental and emotional abilities. So the question is, how do you do that? One of the things that we do is we have requirements for one of their stripes that they earn for their belt, and that is we allow the parents to kind of look and see how they're doing. And this is the one that we have this time. For instance, generally, a lot of times they will correlate with the season, or they will correlate with the creed and things like that that we're working on, and the lessons. They actually do correlate with the lessons that we're teaching in the class. So I wanted to make sure that you understood everything that's in here and how you can use it to help your child. This isn't just for their class here or school, but it's also for home as well. So for instance, there's some questions in here, for instance, that we went over in the class, like if a friend or an older kid or an adult asks you to do something and they tell you to keep it a secret from their parents, who should you tell? If someone told you to keep it a secret from your parents, who should you tell this to? Now, I'm sure your child knows the right answer, but you would be surprised the number of children who say, "Oh, it's a secret. I don't tell anyone." Well, obviously, that's not the right answer. So what this does is these questions, they give us a chance to review what we've talked about in class, but more importantly, they give you a chance to talk with your child about the lessons that we worked on in class and kind of help them understand what the right answer is, right? The right answer, obviously, if somebody tells you to keep a secret, to do something, keep it a secret from your parents, is to tell your parents right away what happened. Some of the other ones, like if you make a mistake, what should you do next? If no one is watching, how do you make sure that you're still making the right choice? What is the right choice? How do you even know, right? Or do you only do it when people are watching? Right? These are all important questions, and they're all things that they learn in the class. So we want to make sure that they kind of relate them, but also to you, and that they know what they are. But also, we want to make sure that we are supporting the values that you find are important, right? So if there's things that you think are important for these lessons, and this gives you a great opportunity to talk to your child about those things. Another one is obviously chores. What chores do they have at home? One of the things that we learn in class is just like learning how to do a kick. Every part has its own job. So for instance, if I'm kicking to break a board, 1 foot steps, 1 foot kicks, right? My hands, my eyes, everything is doing a part. And if any part of that we're not putting it together, if it doesn't work together, then the board won't break, right? Like if I'm only kicking but not stepping not using my whole body, the board won't break. If I am just stepping but not kicking, obviously the board won't break. If I'm not looking and aiming and I'm just stepping and kicking anywhere, obviously the board won't break. It all has to work together. Just like at home, the chores that you have or the jobs that you have at home, and these are jobs that you give them, these are the jobs that everyone in the family has to do. For instance, if someone's job is to set up dishes, wash clothes, take out the garbage, pick up after themselves, their things, or pick up after the dog, that's a popular one too. If any of those jobs aren't done, they're all important, but if those jobs aren't done, everything starts to fall apart. So, if nobody cooks food, everybody gets hungry. If nobody washes clothes, they always smell bad. If your toys or books or things are just laying everywhere in disarray, they're going to get lost, broken, and it's important to us to establish responsibility within ourselves to take care of the things that we are responsible for. All of those things are important parts. But the best way to use it is to say, hey, Master Walker wants me to make sure you get these things done. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, I want my child to do these things without being told. Oh my goodness, that would be so great, wouldn't it? That would be fantastic. But the truth is, you only do those things, and your child will only do those things if they are a habit. And you already know how we develop habits. We develop habits by doing them over and over and over and over. I think it was Socrates or Aristotle. One of those guys said, and I'm paraphrasing, that we are what we do repeatedly. We are merely the habits that we have. How do we establish habits? By doing things over and over and over and over. Our job as teachers and as adults and grown-ups is to help children develop good habits. How do we do that? We do that by getting them to do them over and over and over and over again, even if they don't want to, even if we have to say, hey, we got to do it for this week. We do it for 1 week, right? Then we do it for another week. Then we do it for another week. And eventually it just becomes a habit. They pick up after themselves. They learn about teamwork. They learn to not keep secrets from their parents and from their family. They learn what to do if they make a mistake, and they're just practicing that over and over and over. It's no different than learning a punch or learning a kick. As a matter of fact, ask your child how they learn anything. Ask them how they learn martial arts. Ask them, how do you learn a punch? They'll give you the same answer. We asked them this question in class. How do you learn music? How do you learn math? How do you learn reading? Practice, 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 practice. That's how you do it. The more you do it, the better you get at it. This paper that we have every quarter is just a tool to help the children get into the habits of living a good life, a successful life, and more importantly, being able to follow through with the values that you find important for them. That's really all it is. We're just reinforcing the same thing that you're teaching at home. So anyway, this is coming out this week. You want to make sure that you have it, help them fill it in so we can get everybody ready, and use it as a tool to kind of help you get everything set up and help them learn those habits and to be able to do the things and reinforce the the habits that you want them to have. So anyway, again, thank you guys. I look forward to seeing you in class.